Would you believe me if I told you I was working on my impressions? No. Okay. Well, that's actually a fair answer because I haven't been working on my impressions, but I do have one that I've been kind of, playing with a little bit. Here, I won't tell you who it is. I'll just do it and then, oh, yeah, you should be impressed. That's why they're called that, right? But here it is. Rada, rada, rada. Rada, rada. Rada, rada. You know who that is? Yeah. Schnitzel from Chowder. Okay, yeah. So we can like wrap it up there, right? Do we don't have to keep doing? Okay, 30 more minutes. Yeah, I could. Okay, sure. I didn't thought that was gonna last longer, but don't we all think that? But no, I had a thought earlier this week, and I was like, that's irrational. But I'm like, but I had it. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I did do something about it. I got slices of pizza, two personal slices of pizza, from a pizza shop. Where else would you get it, huh? Oh, that guy in the alley? Yeah, stop talking to him. I thought we talked about that. That guy's going to lead you down a dark, dark road, and you don't want to go there because he's going to be the only one there, and he's not going to pull you out of the dark, dark trouble that he gets you in. But I got this two slices of pizza from this pizza place, as one does, or I guess as two does, because it was two slices. I got these two slices of pizza from this pizza place, and they came in separate boxes, little personal size boxes. And they were stacked on top of each other when they gave them to me. And so when I got home, I put them down on the table, and I don't know why, but I decided, well, let me eat the bottom one first. I don't know. I guess I'm. What are you writing down? Give me that. Garv is a bottom. Don't write shit like that in the middle of my episodes, okay? Remember it, and then you can write it afterwards. But no, don't. Absolutely not. You're taking notes like that in my class? In fact, wait, why don't you pull a card, okay? Oh, you think you've been green all week? No, make that yellow, okay? Don't make that shit go red. But no, I decided to start with the bottom piece of pizza. And then as I opened the bottom box, I really... okay. As I opened the bottom box, I thought, well, this was intended to probably be eaten from the top down, right? It's kind of like when someone's reading, go left or right. At least where I'm from. And so with the same kind of theory, right, same kind of logic, the same kind of culture, you would start from the top box, work your way down. And so I was like, oh, but if I start from the bottom, am I going to be missing something at the top? And then it got me thinking, oh my God, if someone poisoned these slices of pizza, if they were going to try to let me know, they would have put a note in the top box. And so I had this thought, and I was like, okay, Gar, but don't be paranoid. Don't open the top box. Surely no one poisoned it. I was like, right. But in the off chance that someone did, how foolish would it be of me to not check the top box? Because they would have warned me. It would have been totally preventable, right? And that's how I feel about most things. Like when I drive, oh, I'm the guy. I look over my shoulder. Everyone, not everyone, but some people that I don't agree with, they say, why are you looking over your right shoulder? I'm like, well, that's my blind spot. Or is it left shoulder? See, I don't even know. I'm blind to what you're even supposed to do. I always just check where I'm going to go. I do that in a grocery store too. Any store, I do that in public. I walk like I drive. I will like put my blinker on and look over my shoulder and then merge. I don't just like cut in front of people. I will check my shoulder and then then I'll merge into a new lane. If I'm walking on the sidewalk, I gotta make sure there's no one coming. And then if there is someone coming, you kind of make a motion of like, oh, I might pull in here. Is that cool? And then, maybe they'll slow down their gait, and then maybe we'll kind of be walking harmoniously, right? We'll do that thing where our legs are right up against each other and we're walking. You ever see that? Anyways, but I would hate, oh my God, to be in such a preventable position and then not prevent it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, if one of these slices of pizza was poison and there was a note letting me know it'd be the top one. And so I did open the top box and I laughed out loud. I went, that's stupid, because it is stupid. You don't have to do that. No one poisoned the pizza. And if they did, they wouldn't let you know. But if they did and did let you know, I didn't want to be truly, at fault there. It would quite literally be pie in my face, huh? Because it's pizza. Pizza pie, that's what they call it, huh? Not when they poison it, though. That's just called poison. I saw this TikTok video. Apparently, kids can no longer write more than 5 sentences. And I was like, that's pathetic, right? And the general consensus of the public is that, yeah, no, that is pathetic. But then I thought about it. I was like, no, but we all have our things. Like, that's a generational thing. I think, what Gen Alpha, is that what it is right now? They struggle with writing, but like, I struggle with listening. I can't listen to a song if it's greater than like 3 minutes, 40 seconds. If it's longer than that, it kind of gets me thinking, let's wrap this up, right? You ever get to a song, it's about 3 minutes in, you're like, okay, we're going to be over soon, right? If there's like 20 seconds left, that's cool. 40, I'm pushing it, but I can stick around. It's kind of like when you're leaving someone's place and you kind of stand in the door frame, just being like, should we say bye? Oh, another thing. I was thinking about that before I go, and then you're letting all the warm or cold air out of the house, depending on what season it is. But that's kind of how I feel about 3 minutes, 20 seconds to 3 minutes, 40 seconds. I'm like, I'm kind of out, but I'm still here, but I could be out very easily. But I could also be back in. It really depends. But I was like, yeah, these kids, they can't write more than 5 sentences. What are you talking about? But no, I can't listen to a song if it's 4 minutes. So what's my deal? Except I have been listening to the song, which is called Gas Station Love by E.J. Jones. And it's 4 minutes, 5 seconds. So I'm also a hypocrite. You got to factor that into the equation. I don't always tell the truth, and you can believe that. But yeah, songs, I have trouble. I remember a lot of the early 2000 songs, they are over like 3 minutes. I remember a lot of like early Kanye music and like Justin Timberlake music. That shit just goes on and on. Sometimes the last 2 minutes is just a soft instrumental for some reason, but it kind of just lingers. And then you start to think, is my phone glitched, or do I need to skip this? And then are you going to skip it right as they're about to come back? Because that's what they always do in these long songs. It gets to 3 minutes and you're like, oh, yeah, that was nice. You start to get up and they start playing again. It's basically an encore, and you're like, and we're doing again. Okay, hey, no, that's cool. Go ahead. I didn't know. It's kind of like when someone's telling you a story and then you relate to a part of it. And you're like, exactly. And then the other day, the same thing happened to me. And they're like, I wasn't done. I'm like, oh, and I didn't think you were done. I was just letting you know I'm listening. So continue, because I got plenty of more where that came from. I can listen all day. Ideally, not more than the next 40 seconds, but I could, for all intents and purposes, I got all day. That's what you do. You tell your friends you have much more than you actually have, because that's being a good person. If you tell your friends what you actually have, you'll have no friends. Have you learned that, Gauruv? No, I don't learn things. You have to remember that too. God, you know what? Whip out your notebook. You should be taking notes. Seems like you forget everything I tell you. But you remember the important stuff, don't you? But yeah, I can't do it. I saw this TikTok, but of this teacher, I don't know if it's staged or not. It feels real. Now you have to go through so many filters of believing stuff online. First, you got to be like, is it AI? I don't know. And then you got to be like, is it staged? I don't know. And then you got to, I don't know, there's more bullshit you have to, everything sucks. Why can't we just go back to when those scummy guys went on college campuses and like pranked people and we all just believed it at face value? Now we have to question so much stuff. Before it was binary. It was, oh, this is real and this is fake. But then I think what really ruined it was like family channels. It's like, oh, did someone break into the Ace family's house? I don't know. I don't fucking know what to believe anymore, right? The Dobry twins, are they actually doing all those stunts? I don't know. If they made 2 of them that look the same, can't they make more and have stunt doubles? I don't fucking know. And would they be called triples at that point? If a twin has a stunt double, is that a stunt triple? No one's saying this shit. And that's why I'm here. I'm filling a gap in the market. And that's why we're going to see a big explosion in the market. But I can't do it. So this video, this teacher, it's TikTok video, and he's, got it right here. You can see all his chins. And he goes, all right, guys, we're going to be writing 5 sentences. And the whole class is like, what? No. I think even one person said, can we do 4? And I was like, oh my God. That is truly pathetic. But then I, quickly checked myself and I was like, no, but you're pathetic in ways, right? Because I think a lot of the comments, they were attributing this to the generation. Oh, this generation is cooked. And I was like, well, you just talking like that means you're probably part of the problem. We also have developed a very weakened, fragile, uh, vocabulary, right? Our vocab is atrophied, one might say, because it's a muscle we haven't worked. People aren't using these big words. We just say shit is cooked, or that's a vibe, or, other slang. I didn't want to say one, and then you'd be like, uh-oh, Gauruv, you're kind of on the way out too yourself. No, no, I'm hip. I've explained 6-7 to 3 different people in the past month. That means I still have social relevance. I am still of use in the village. The worst thing you can do is when you get older and then, you go to holidays and then the young people are like, no, 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 sit. We'll take care of it. And it's like, oh, should I go in the backyard and off myself? What did you just tell me to do? I can't get up to get my own pie. That's part of the thrill. Okay? I like getting back to my chair. A little too sweaty for some reason, for just walking around the kitchen a little bit and scooping ice cream. But the ice cream, it was fresh out the freezer. So, there wasn't much give. I had to. But by the time you get back to your seat, your ankles hurt a little bit. Your heels are a little tough for some reason. And you have just a couple beads of sweat that you wonder, am I an evolutionary mistake? Like, if Darwin was right and we all lived in the Galapagos Islands, like we didn't stray beyond that, should I have made it this far? Because I just went and got an apple pie and some vanilla bean ice cream, and I've sat down like I just went out on a hunt with my village, my crew, my clan. Let's not use that third one. How about that? I think times have changed. We shouldn't say stuff like that. Unless it's talking about gaming, that's also crazy that you call that in online gaming. Yeah, no, me and my clan. Ooh, okay. That I know what you say. I know what you mean, but that didn't hit the ear the way you might have wanted it to. But these kids can't write more than 5 sentences, and yeah, they were bargaining with the teacher. They were like, "Can we do 4?" At that point, we should just do 3. 5 sentences as a paragraph, from what I remember in school. And so that's kind of crazy that kids are like, "We have to write a paragraph? Come on. What did we do to you?" All the people in the comments were like, "We have to write entire papers." I was like, damn, we did. I even forgot that. But all the people in the comments, they were trying to attribute to a generational thing. And I was like, no, I suck too. Maybe not in that way. I can still write stuff. I don't write every day. But, no, actually, I pretty much do. No, I don't. On weekends, I don't touch a pen. I don't touch a pencil. I don't even know. Yeah. There is one where I sit, where I work. There's a pen right there. On my Saturday and Sunday, I don't know where the closest pen or pencil would be. I would have to go seek it out. That's not a thing that's just readily available. But I can just whip out my phone, right? And have AI dictate it and then read it back to me and tell me what the person said. Recently, someone took a picture of this new, apparently in the grocery store, they have some Pokemon trading vending machines, trading card vending machines, and they took a picture of it. This person is not familiar with Pokemon. They are a full-fledged adult, and so they were trying to show it to me, and they're like, yeah, look at this picture. And I was like, oh yeah, I know what that is. And they're like, here, look at this. And then, they did the thing where they flip up and then go to a different app, and they went to a different app, and they're like, here's a written description. This is what Grok is telling me it is. I was like, okay. He's like, read it. I'm like, I'm not going to read that. He's like, why not? I'm like, because I know what it is, first of all, and also that explanation is for you. Did you just miss the human part of this? You can grok it, sure, what? If you're going to grok it, please use a bathroom, but you can grok whatever the fuck you want, but then don't give it to me to read. You just missed the human connection part. You read the fucking grok, and then you regurgitate it back to me, and then I'll pass that off as something I read up on. That's how we do things. So, I read about this. Nope, a friend told me. A poorly processed AI answer. But no, don't do this. Oh, here, I went through the effort of just entering it into an AI chatbot. Now you can read its output. Don't do that. If you're going to do that, we should join, right? Whoever's in the backyard, kind of ending things early, because at that point there's no use for us. You've outsourced the human interaction part. We can just let the AI bots talk to each other. There's no use for us to be there. So yeah, you can use the AI chat bots. There might be one inside my brain because I just fucking glitched out there for a second. AI doesn't stutter. That's fine. That's okay. AI also can't give you hugs. But it's not like humans do that either, do they? Huh? Because you're grokking stuff as an adult. I saw a motorcycle cop speed past me on the freeway this week. And I didn't even see him till he was like past me before, the Doppler effect went into full effect and went, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even see him there. And then he went and he tracked someone down, right? Bad morning for them. And that sometimes happens when you drive, right? It's not like you zone out. Like you're totally in control of your driving, but sometimes you'll be driving and then you think about it and you're like, I don't know what had just happened for the past 10 seconds. And sometimes moments like that will remind you of that. Like that motorcycle just zoomed past me. And I was like, how did that happen without me knowing? Because usually I'm checking my rear view mirrors. So I can see like what cars are behind me. I can watch out for cops. But that caught me fully by surprise. And I was like, holy shit, have I been driving consciously for the past 10 seconds? Sometimes that happens. And it got me thinking, I was like, oh, this is exactly like using a toilet and then getting up and you turn around, to flush after you examine your work. I'm not going to say whether I do that or don't do that because I was talking to someone, this group of people, like a couple weeks ago, and I made a joke about like, oh, we examine our work, right? Again, I'm not going to say if I do that or don't. And everyone was like, what? I was like, okay, first of all, I'm not saying I do that. I'm just saying that's like a thing online. Like people talk about that. There's a poo chart online. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I'm just telling you what Grok told me. Okay, no, I've never, let the record show, I've never used Grok, and I do not intend to use Grok ever. I don't think I've ever used AI sincerely. Like, I think I've used it for a video a couple years ago, but never have it been like, hey chat. People that called ChatGPT chat, nope. That's insane. Just finish it off. Because the thing is, ChatGPT is a tool. The moment you get rid of the GPT, now it's like you're treating it like a friend. Don't do that. Keep it as a tool. Don't have cutesy names, okay? Yeah, I'll go, chop it up with chat. We'll have a little coffee cliche, right? A coffee quiche, that's what it's called. When you get coffee with someone and you break down the events of the day. A coffee quiche. A coffee kitsch. It's one of those. Who gives a fuck? It's coffee and chat. They call it a coffee chat, I've heard. A Java, nope. I got into that without knowing where I was going to go. I needed to come up with a word that starts with a J that means talking so that I could follow Java with it. And then it'd be like alliteration. Java joking. Nope. See, I did that whole explanation by myself. Good. No, maybe they should put Neuralink in my goddamn brain because it's not really doing a great job. AI is replacing our jobs. And what's my job as a human? To have thoughts. Not doing well on that. Performance reviews looking dire. Last I checked. But I saw his motorcycle cop speed past me. And it reminded me of the same exact feeling of like, yeah, you get up from a toilet and you go to flush it and then you see, oh my God, there's a spider. And you're like, holy shit, was that there the whole time? I mean, nothing bad happened, but if I knew that, I think I would have been scared. It's the same thing as a motorcycle cop. Like when he passed me, I was like, oh my God, wow. Was he behind me? I mean, I wasn't speeding or anything, but I was like, what if I was? Like, well, nothing bad happened, but I'm like, it could have. And so it's like, it kind of makes you think for a second. You're like, what the fuck? Am I zoning out in parts of my life? Like, what's going on? How did I not see that spider? How did I not see that cop? And what's crazy is nope, I'm not going to. I think everyone should play golf for a year. Just everyone should do it. Because I truly think that if everyone just gave golf a good old college try for a year, there would be records broken like we've never seen. I truly think golf is just the way it is because not everyone gives it a shot. I think there are some hidden, amazing, like God tier, God-given people with like golf talent. It's just that no one's given themselves the shot, right? No one's picked up the iron and putted around. Anyways, And so that we've not gotten to see the full potential of humans in golf. Because you just got a bunch of people, right, that kind of retired a little early with all their joints still working, and so they're kind of good out there and being like, oh yeah, this is pretty good, and they're setting the records. I know professional golfers in their like 20s and 30s, but like, no one's given golf a shot. It's such a low barrier of entry. That's why like old people play it, because they're like, well, this is the one sport I can still do. So it's like if we gave very healthy young people just like, hey, you play golf, give it a shot, I think there would be just natural talent everywhere. I don't think golf would be as impressive if it was more normalized in society. I truly think that. Because what? Podcasts are a thing, right? Let me just attack myself real quick. Podcasts are so, like, there's too many of them because podcast equipment is so readily available. The thing is, golf is just a little, it prices people out just a little bit. Also, it's like, when do you even play golf, right? It prices out people in terms of time and money. You need both of those to play, and not everyone has those two things. But if we gave everyone those two resources for a year, and really dedicated it to golf research, just let everyone play golf, really become a master. Oh, shout out to the green coat. Really become a master at it for a year, we would see insane things. I bet IShowSpeed could break every golf record that has ever been set if he just tried. So yeah, when people, oh, I'm good at golf. Okay. Yeah. And I'm good at brushing my teeth. My dentist wouldn't agree. I don't know how I'm getting a filling every goddamn time I go there. But no, not the last time. Last time was good. No problem. They didn't even call the doctor in. The dentist. They just had the dental hygienist, get in there, kind of move the furniture around, and then they were like, yeah, get out of here. Gave me a little goodie bag on the way out. I was like, wow. No sticker, huh? We stopped doing that? That's where the economy is? Can't even get a... Okay, no. Free sticker, okay. Didn't know that was going to break the bank, but, what do I know? I'm not the one that looks at fucking dentures for a living, huh? So that's why I don't get paid that much. What am I talking about? Speaking of dentists, I think teeth whitening seems harmful, but I can't explain why. It's the same. Maybe this is just me projecting. It's because you're making the teeth. You can't just make them white. You gotta kind of get in there, right? You gotta reveal more teeth. And like at some point, more teeth runs out. Then you just got no teeth, right? People talk about like, oh, oil stripping or like whatever, fucking some stripping, and then they're like, that's what makes your oil pulling. I don't know. But they're like, that's what makes your teeth white. And it seems, okay, healthy. But it feels like a lot of this self-care stuff we talk about is under the assumption that, like, oh, yeah, well, humans don't live forever, which we don't, unfortunately. Would have loved that. But humans, they're like, yeah, we have an expiration date. So it's okay if you kind of fuck this shit up for a while. It'll look nice. For the time that you are here, it'll look nice. That's kind of what Kris Jenner is doing, right? She's like, for the time I'm here, I'm going to look nice. So I'm going to pour everything into that, and then no, I'm not gonna. There's a picture. Her 70th birthday was recently, and she looks fab, as they're saying, but she was wearing these gloves, these big black gloves up to her, I think, arm right here, and someone fucking tweeted, they were like, 70th birthday with the black gloves, #noticing. And they're basically saying that, yeah, old people, they can tighten up their face all they want, but like their hands always, you can't really do Botox for the hands, right? Unless you find a donor and they have like the same size hands. And then, nope, I'm not gonna. But teeth whitening, I can't explain it, but it seems harmful. And I bet I could do my own research and come up with some pretty informed opinions. Yeah, I think I could really become an expert, a pundit in the field, and go to all my house parties and get-togethers and really impress some folks by something I read online. And it would actually be quite a sophisticated answer because it wouldn't be Grok. No, it would be Google's Gemini AI overview. We're losing the ancient text and we're replacing them with no text. We're just burning books. We're not even replacing them with new books. We're just becoming illiterate day by day. Isn't that crazy? We're not even replacing it with something that's like better. We're just like, let's just stop. Let's just stop thinking, right? Was Wall-E correct? Okay, calm down, bud. I love when people. Nope, I'm not gonna say anything. Um, I don't know. I can't explain it. And the reason I was saying I'm projecting is because, like, yeah, I think there's a problem with pulling back the layers of your teeth and making them vulnerable, which is like, oh, okay, ooh, oh, of course, right? Straight guy in his 20s has a problem being vulnerable. Calm down. That's not what I'm getting at, okay? But maybe I am. Yeah, maybe I do have a problem with being vulnerable in all regards of the human body, not just mentally, huh? No, I'm pretty good. I think we could have some really great conversations, huh? In our coffee clash. That's what it's called, coffee clash. There's an L in there. I guess you were just holding it earlier. God, we have fun, you and I. I mean, I do most of the talking, but that's any great relationship, is it not? See, and the moment you speak up, you start arguing with me. So let me do the talking, okay? That was an ugly look on you. Okay, don't let it happen again. Also, what would be a good look on you? See, we riff good when you shut the fuck up. You notice that? Yeah, right? Okay. So yeah, thanks for listening. This podcast episode won't get that many views and likes because I didn't probably use a famous person's name in the title. So make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, because we're going to need all the support we can get on this, folks. Thanks so much for past week. Great support on that. I really, really do appreciate it. We're getting into the holiday season. Thanksgiving's coming up. So I'm just going to say thanks for giving me a like on the video. Wow. Wordplay. Interesting. How does he do it? We wake up every morning and we think, how do these people in society do it? I hope I am up for consideration. And I know I am. One song I'm listening to this week is Let's Stay the Same, ? By Planet Girl and Rice. I think it's pronounced Rice. I didn't look it up, but it's a gentleman named Rice. So yeah, take a look at that song. Take a look at the like button. Again, did I mention like button? Oh my God, there's just so many things. My brain is so clouded. You can probably tell by all the slipping and sliding I've been doing in this episode on my words. It's a regular old slip and slide. Yeah, my brain is a slip and slide, except your parents couldn't afford the slip and slide. So they just put a bunch of garbage bags together and then poured water on them. And it was like, yeah, go have fun. Don't get a concussion. Come back with your skull intact. That's what's going on in my brain. Okay? It's not even the name brand where you get to the end and then you have a celebration of, there's like a gate that pours more water on you just to be like, hey, if you didn't get wet enough on their way here, I'm going to make you extra wet. Don't clip that, okay? I know what you're doing. You know what? Get your on the way out, leave your notebook with me. I'm going to go through it, and then when you come back for class next week, I'll give it back to you with all the stuff I want redacted, crossed out in Sharpie. But this week, I think we've been doing a great job with likes and comments. So let's keep it going, huh? Let's get a 2-week streak. Couldn't think of a third word. Fuck. No. Please. Don't let me fumble at the 1 yard line. But yeah, I would hate for you to fumble at the 1 yard line and make it all the way through this episode and not leave a like on the comment. That's like, you fucking monster. That's like eating dinner without getting dessert. What is that, huh? It just feels like things have not been completed. Getting a dinner without dessert is essentially the culinary equivalent of blue balling someone. You understand that, right? So go ahead. Crank that shit and leave a like on the video. How about that? Awesome. I think we made it through it. Huh. Wow. That schnitzel impression did kind of carry into everything else, didn't it? Huh. I knew I could do it. Now, can you do your part? Leave a like on the video. I don't think I mentioned that before, have I? Let's kick it off there. That was a great note to end on. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next week. Okay.